How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another day of 7th grade math. And today we're going to be learning about markup and markdown. Okay, so previously we had already talked about percent increase and decrease, and this is very similar, but it's actually a way for retails and for sales stores to actually find out the prices whenever they give you a discount or whenever somebody is a manufacturer and they're going to sell the product. The store actually has to sell it a little more expensive in order to make profit, and this is what they do. So for instance, a markup is used whenever, let's say that you make soccer balls, okay? Your Adidas, whatever brand, I don't want to mention any brands, but whatever brand it is that makes soccer balls, and you're going to sell it on sports stores. If you make the soccer ball, it costs the factory or the brand, I don't know, let's say $5 to make it. However, when you're going to go buy a brand name soccer ball, is it really going to cost you $5? Most likely not, right? You're going to pay close to $20-$30 for a really good brand name soccer ball, right? So what they do right there, they inflate the price. They have to mark the price up. And they mark it up in certain percentage in order to make profit, right? That way the store can make a profit and the manufacturer can make profits, okay? So those are ways that you can find markup. Now, markdown, on the other hand, is a little bit different. Markdown is a discount. So whenever you go to the store, like any store, many times you can see things that say 30% off, 50% off. On Black Friday deals, you can see up to 70% off, 90% off, whatever the case may be, but those are discounts. Whenever it's a markdown, you can expect to pay less than whatever the price is at the moment, okay? So let's say something is $100 and it's 30% off, you gotta take $30 off of that and it's $70. Instead of paying $100, you're gonna pay $70, and we're gonna learn exactly how to do the markup whenever it's the price increase, or the markdown whenever it's the price decrease. So, in this case, it says a markup is an example of a percent increase, and to calculate the markup, we write up a percent as a decimal, then add 1, and then multiply by the original cost. Now, I've been telling you, every time you have a percent, to always convert to decimal, okay? And the faster way to do it is just move the decimal 2 places to the left, okay? Even if it's a 3-digit, 4-digit, whatever it is, you're only moving the decimal 2 places to the left. Let me show you an example. So for example, if you have 30%, to convert that into a decimal, you're gonna move 1, 2, and now it's gonna be 0.3. But let's say you have 125%. That's more than 100. So what you're going to do is the same thing. You're going to move from the end 1, 2. So that is going to be 1.25. And that is already converted as a decimal. Now, what if you have only a 1 digit? For instance, 5%. The same process. All you got to do is move the decimal 1, 2. But when you have empty spaces, it doesn't matter, you fill them with zeros. So now it's going to be 0.05. So forth, so on. Okay? So those are just the simple ways to convert percents to decimals. Okay? So for instance, it says, as stores buy soccer balls, and I'm looking at this example right now, buy soccer balls from a supplier for $5. Okay? So that's exactly what I was telling you about. The supplier is whoever makes the soccer balls. And the stores marks it up 45%. Find the retail price. Okay. And it says write the markup as a decimal and then add 1. Okay. So we're going to convert the 45% into a decimal. That's 0.45, which is right here. And then we're going to add 1. And that's going to give us that number. Okay. Now, the next step is to multiply by the retail price. In this case, the retail price is $5. Multiply those two, and this is what they're going to be selling the soccer ball. So they're gonna make a $2.25 profit, okay? Now markdown, in the other hand, is right here. They're gonna do a discount. They're gonna discount sweaters by 20%, originally priced at 60%. The original price is the retail price. So now, instead of adding 1, like right here, we're gonna subtract the decimal from 1. Subtract the decimal from 1. So for instance, we convert this into a decimal. This is 0.2. Then we subtract from 1. 1 minus 0.2 gives us 0.8. And then we multiply by the original price and gives us $48. So the new price is going to be $48. Now they might even ask you, how much money are you saving? And in order to find that, all you got to do is subtract the original minus the new price, and you get $12 savings. Okay? So I'm going to do a few examples, and then I'm going to let you work on the assignment. And let's look at this right here. And if I read this correctly, all of this right here are going to be markups. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for markup, step 1, let me write the steps. Step 1. Step 1, convert percent to decimal. Step 2, add 1 to it. Step 3, multiply by the original. Those are my 3 steps to do markups. Okay, so let's do that. Number 1, it says the cost is $45, markup 20%. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that 20 into a decimal. And the way to do it, move the decimal 2 places to the left. So this is 0.2 or 0.20 is the same thing. And then I'm going to add 1 to that. So that's going to give me 1.2. That's my step 2. Step 3, multiply by the original. So 45 times 1.2, and I get $54. So my new price is going to be $54 even. Now, look at this right here. It says round to 2 decimal places when necessary. So if you had multiple decimals, more than 2, whenever we talk about money, we only use the first 2 up to hundreds. So that's why every single time you talk about money, if you have 3 decimals, thousands, tens of thousands, whatever, you need to round it to hundreds. Always 2 decimal places. In this case, I didn't have any decimals, so that's it. Number 2, original cost, $7.50, markup by 50%. Now, some of these things you might be able to do in your head. 50% is half. So all you have to do is add half of the price to the $7.50. But we're going to do it using the same steps. First step, convert to decimal. Add 1. So this is going to be 1.5, and we're going to multiply by the original. So 750 times 1.5 gives us $11.25. The new price is $11.25. Now if they ask you, what was the markup? How much was it marked up? All you have to do is subtract those 2 numbers, the 750 and the 1125. 2 more for markup. Number 3, it says original cost $1.25, markup 80%. Again, first step, convert to decimal. Add 1. So this is going to be 1.8. When you add 1 is 0. Let me just go ahead and write it just in case you get lost. So this is going to be 0.8 plus 1 is 1.8 and multiply by 1.25. 1.25 times 1.8 is going to give me $2.25. Now, notice, every time is a markup, you have to expect the price to go up. If it does not go up, you're doing something wrong. Please double check your process, okay? Every time you're doing a markup, the price has to go up. If you're finding the new price, okay? If you're finding the new price for markup, the price has to go up. Last one for markup. Original 62, markup by 35%. Move the decimal, first step. This is 0.35. Add 1 to that. Gives us 1.35. Multiply by the original. 1.35 times 62 gives us 83.7. Notice, round to 2 decimal places. I only have 1 place, so all you gotta do is add a 0. You get 83.7, but you need to round it to hundreds, so it's 70 cents. Not 7 cents, 70 cents. That's it for the markups. Again, if you needed to find how much did it change, all you had to do was subtract this and this, and you'll get whatever the difference is. Same thing for markdown. Now we're going to find the markdowns. Markdowns round to 2 decimal places. For markdowns, it's going to be a bit different, but not too much. Step 1 for markdown. Convert to decimal. Step 2, subtract from 1. Subtract from 1. Step 3, multiply by original. Okay? So when you're subtracting the decimal from 1, it's going to be less than 1. If you notice on markup, every time we multiply by the new one, it was more than 1. On markup, it's always going to be more than 1. And on markdown, it's always going to be less than 1. Things to consider. And remember, just to make sure you're going in the right direction. So, first step, markdown. Now, on markdowns, you have to expect the price to go down. If the price does not go down, please go back, check your steps, and do it again. Let's do number 5. Markdown, 40%. Same thing. This is 0.4. Now we're going to take away from 1. Okay? Do not subtract 1 from 0.4, because it's going to give you a negative number. You take it away from 1. So now you're going to do 1 minus 0.4. Line up your decimals. So this is going to be 0.6. And then you can multiply by the original. 150 times 0.6. And it's going to give you 90. Did the price go down? Yes, it did. And that's what I'm looking for. Again, subtract from 1. So put the 1 in front of it or put the 1 on top of it. Add a decimal. That way you can line it up and go from there. Next one. Mark down by 25%. 0.25. 1 minus 0.25 gives me 0.75. When I multiply 18.99 times 0.75, 18.99 times 0.75, this is the number that I get. I get 14.2425. However, what does this say right here? 2 decimal places. So I gotta look at this number. That's less than 5. So this is gonna be 14.24. Did the price go down? It did, and that's what I'm looking for. If they ask you by how much did it go down? Or what was the markdown? You will say you will have to subtract $18.99 minus 14.24. Two more. Original 95%, markdown 10%. Convert to decimal. So this is 0.1. So 1 minus 0.1 gives us 0.9. Multiply by the original. 95 times 0.9 gives me 85.5. 85.5. That's tens place. Yes. So I gotta add a 0 to make it hundreds. $85.50. Did the price go down? It did, as expected. Number 8, the last one for this type right here. Markdown 15%. 0.15. Subtract from 1. 1 minus 0.15 gives me 0.85. See, notice all of these are less than 1. That's less than 1. This is less than 1. That's less than 1. This was less than 1. And that's what I'm looking for. So all I got to do is multiply 75 times 0.85. And I get 63.75. I don't need to round anything because it's already 2 decimal places. It went down. And that's my new price. That's the discount that you expect to see at the store. Now let's see what we have over here. It says a clothing store bought packages of 3 pairs of socks for $1.75. The store owner marked the price by 80%, marked up the price by 80%. What is the retail price? What is the new retail price? Okay, so we're looking for the retail price. Let's see right here. We're gonna have to mark up, convert to decimal, add 1, and multiply, right? So convert this to decimal. Like that. So we're gonna add 1. So we're gonna multiply it by 1.8. 1.75 times 1.8 gives me $3.15. So that's my new retail price. $3.15. Now, after a month, the store owner marks down the retail price by 20%. Now, they didn't get sold because they were too expensive. They were too expensive, so he had to do a markdown. So now we're going to look for the new sales price. Okay? We're going to look for the new sales price. So, markdown, convert to decimal. Subtract from 1. And then multiply by the retail price right there. So 3.15 times 0.8 is $2.52. So now the new price is $2.52 on a markdown, and I can expect it to go down, and it did. So that is markup or markdown. Again, for markup, 3 steps. Convert to decimal. Add 1 to that decimal. Step 3, multiply by the original price. That's markup. Markdown. Oh, by the way, markup. You can expect the price. You have to expect the price to go up. Markdown. Step 1, convert percent to decimal. Step 2, subtract from 1. So you're going to do 1 minus whatever the decimal is. And then step 3, multiply by the original price. And you have to expect the price to go down. That is markup and markdown. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you want to support this channel, link down in the description. That is it for this one, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.